I was introduced to foster care when I was 11. My first foster home was pretty rough. It was on a farm. We had to mow and rake pretty much every other day. And we would also have to take care of the animals and do all of the inside chores. Their biological daughter was really verbally abusive to us. When I was 15, my foster mom kicked me out after we had an argument in the car. My second foster home was great until it wasn't. I was calling the parents mom and dad, and I was referring to the girls as my sisters. And when I turned 18, the mom wasn't ever around much anymore due to just having a new love life. When I moved to college, she never visited. I knew they were pulling away. She gave me a call and was like, so-and-so doesn't want you to come home. And I was in shock and I was just devastated. I called my pastor's wife. She took me back to her house and we tried to get a hold of my foster mom. Every time she said that she would meet with me, she would stand me up. I stopped trying. I am currently living with my pastor and his wife. I feel like one of the greatest challenges of this whole thing is the instability that it brings and also the trauma. I feel like foster care does set kids up for failure.
Very well said. Very, very well said.
Thank you.
Instability is a big thing, as we were talking about, getting bounced around. And it does set you up for failure because it doesn't set you up for success. It doesn't give you any tools, right?
Agreed, yeah.
What was the hardest thing for you? You said instability, but what else made it hard for you to get on with life?
Well, for me, it was always like after I turned 18, I dropped out of college and I was playing college volleyball, and that was really hard. And for a long time, my identity for me was school and sports. And then when that happened and my foster family pulled for me and I dropped out, it was kind of like really shocking. And I felt like I had to scramble to figure something else out. It just feels like a continuous cycle that I haven't broken out of yet.
See, that's what you were talking about. It's people look at foster children like they screwed up. They did something wrong and therefore they got cast out and put in some leper colony somewhere because they did something wrong. And then they internalize that because they don't know where to fit in. And you don't deserve that.
I would say a lot of people call me resilient, and I hate that term because we're left with no other choice. I'm not any more resilient than anyone else. I didn't make better choices than anyone else. I just didn't give up. And it's really hard being told no over and over again. You go to find help and you're told no. And I think growing up the way we did, we hear no one time and we stop asking. We stop asking for help. We stop looking for help because we just give up and nobody's going to help us. And you have to ask and you have to keep asking.
Why is that meaningful for you to hear? Why is that emotional for you to hear?
I don't know. I just feel like for a long time, I just never really thought about it. Never really had to think about it. You just kind of pick yourself up and just move along, because if you don't move along, you're going to be left behind. Look, a lot of kids have those feelings, and it's just nice to hear someone else.
I've always had the philosophy that you just do it until. And I didn't have anything 1/100th of the life experience that either of you have, but I have been homeless when I was 14 and, ultimately lived in an apartment with no utilities because we couldn't afford the deposit, and it was damn cold in Kansas City. And my attitude is you just do it until. You don't try 5 times, you don't try 6 times, you don't try you just do it until. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.